So exam season is coming. With that comes the need to do exam projects. So for Mr. Borsma's World History class, I'm going to talk about not history much. Well, I'm going to talk about a little bit of history, but it's recent history. I think the farthest I go back is like the 70s or something, but I'm not going to give an exact date. Now, if you haven't read the title for some reason, I'm going to be talking about nuclear power. Now, I can just hear you asking, how are my questions about this supposed to be answered? Well, that is a very good question that is going to be answered right now. Now, because you aren't actually here to ask me questions, you are going to be represented by me from the future, wearing a different shirt. Now, to talk about nuclear power, you need to understand nuclear power. So, here is my short version on what nuclear power actually is. Nuclear power is generated by shooting a neutron into the atoms of a radioactive element, usually uranium-235. When the neutron hits the atom, it splits apart. When this split happens, it generates massive amounts of energy and also radioactive nuclear waste. This energy is in the form of heat energy, and this heat is used to boil water into steam, which then powers a steam turbine that will then generate electricity. So nuclear reactors are basically just really large and expensive tea kettles. As I mentioned before, reactors usually use uranium-235. This produces a ton of energy in a fairly short amount of time, but they can also be easily turned into weapons, like a bomb. Is there another element we can use that's safer and not weaponizable? Good question, me from the future. An alternative element we could use is thorium. Now, thorium is pretty cool, since it's named after Thor. No, not that Thor. Yes, that one. Not only is it named after Thor, but it also is about as common as dirt. It's a much safer way to produce nuclear power because instead of emitting harmful gamma particles like uranium does, it emits much less harmful alpha particles. Another benefit is that the radioactive waste generated from the thorium reaction stays radioactive for a significantly smaller amount of time than uranium. Only 300 years compared to uranium's tens of thousands of years. Many people want to replace uranium reactors with cheaper and safer liquid fluoride thorium reactors, or LFTR as it's pronounced. LFTR uses a mixture of liquid salts to cool the reactor and to transfer the heat energy into the steam turbine. Scientists say this would be more efficient and safer than the pressurized water used to cool uranium reactors, as this would prevent hydrogen explosions like the one at Fukushima. LFTR reactors use much less materials than a uranium reactor, so they are much cheaper. Also, it's really hard to turn them into a bomb or some other form of weapon. So why didn't we build LFTR first and not ever build uranium reactors? Well, why don't I let my very talented acting troupe answer that one for you? So here we have two elements, uranium and thorium. They both can be used to create the nuclear power that we want to revolutionize the energy business and power the entire country. Well, what are the benefits of both? Well, thorium is very common. Its radioactive waste stays radioactive for a significantly shorter amount of time than uranium, and it's named after Thor, the Norse god of thunder. What about the other one? Well, uranium can get more power faster, and can power nuclear submarines better, and it can also make bombs. Let's do that one! But thorium is much safer. No, I like explosions. Let's use that one so that we can destroy our enemies if they attack us. Thorium is cheaper. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need to call the president about this one. Hello, this is the president. Yes, I agree with you. We should definitely use the uranium so we can make more bombs to destroy all those who dare to oppose the might of America. Well, you see what I mean. I may have exaggerated a little bit, but that's the gist of it. Okay, so I understand why we didn't start out with LFTR, but why not convert all of our currently existing uranium reactors to LFTR? Another excellent question, me from the future, and the answer there is simply because it's too expensive. I thought you said LFTR was cheaper. Well, it is, and that's true, but it would be way too expensive to convert all of our existing 100-ish uranium reactors to LFTR. Many people don't think it would be worth it because of this expense. Personally, I don't agree. I think that it would be worth it, but not for us now. You see, because LFTR generates waste that only stays radioactive for 300 years, whereas uranium generates waste that is radioactive for tens of thousands of years. So 300 years is longer than any person will live, but it is significantly less than the tens of thousands of years by uranium.